want to set up an investment property that gives the city investment and income. And just on the back of something Councillor Lagan was talking about, every single time the officers have come to this council and said, here's a proposal, you'll get your X amount, 7%, 10%, whatever it is, this council generally rejects it. For a number of reasons, and a lot of them are very valid. But if we can have a group here that is the sounding board, that the officers can go to this group and say, hey, we got this particular investment, what do you guys think? They can actually be that representative of council. They can actually tell the officers, yes, we think this is a great idea, or no, there's some red flags on this one. And that in itself is going to propel anything that the officers give to the community resource committee already leg up, and they haven't actually wasted their time. Because that's essentially what the point of all this is. What direction do we give the officers of the City of Stirling, and what should they be investing their time in? Because in the past, they've invested their time greatly in a whole lot of projects, a whole lot of investments that this council ultimately, after months of their work, says no to. So this is a bit of a leg up, bit of a sounding board by council. I'm using that word quite a bit, Mr. Mayor. It was a good word. A bit of a sounding board by councillors, so they not actually end up wasting their time. If an investment comes up, they can go to this particular advisory group, and the advisory group can say, no, don't waste your time on this one, or yes, we think that's going to be a good way forward. And I think that's actually quite prudent, and it could actually speed up some of the things in the strategic property portfolio. So I'll end with that, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. And with that, that does close the debate. So we've got a motion moved, Councillor Sargent, seconded Councillor Migdale. The intent is clear. There's 5 initial members. No councillor is precluded if they wish to attend. And there is a foreshadowed motion by Councillor Farrelly that if this motion is lost, then it would just default to the Community and Resource Committee. So I'll put that motion. Yeah, as it stands there, yes. Okay, councillors, we've got Councillor Sandri to vote, and that is unanimous. Thank you, councillors. That does bring us to the balance of reports. Councillor Sargent would like to move the balance of reports of Community and Resources Committee.
I don't think there's too many left on this piece of paper, Mr. Mayor, but happy to move the balance of reports.
Couple there. Councillor Proud has seconded. We'll go to the vote, please, councillors. That is unanimous. Please be advised that the remainder of the Community and Resources Committee recommendations have been adopted by exception resolution. Councillors will now move on to direct to council reports. Item 13, reports for consideration in accordance with section 4.24 of the Meeting Procedures Local Law 2009. I have nil. Item 14, motions of which previous notice has been given. Item 14.1, a notice of motion from Councillor Suzanne Migdale. Beach Access Manning, 238. Councillor Migdale.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move the alt rec on page 242, please.
Thank you, councillor. Is there a seconder for that motion? Councillor Ferrante. Is there anyone opposed? Councillor Farrelly, you're opposed? Yep. So you're opposed to the motion? Yep. At the moment, Councillor. So it's a suggested alt rec. Have you got a question to clarify something? We can. Let's just clarify. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So there's no one opposed. So we'll put that to the vote. That is unanimous. Thank you, councillors. Takes us to item 14.2, notice of motion, Councillor Elizabeth Ree, artificial reef at Brighton Beach. Councillor Ree.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to endorse the alternative recommendation on page 249 that the establishment of an artificial reef at Brighton Beach or another part of the City of Stirling coastline is considered as part of the wider coastal hazard risk management and adaptation planning process being undertaken over the next 2 years, please.
Councillor Caddy has seconded. Is there anyone opposed to this one? If not, I will put that motion. I've got one to go. Councillor Proud. Councillor Proud. That is unanimous. Thank you, councillors. Item 15, notice of motion for consideration at the next meeting. Councillors, would you like to submit any notice of motions for consideration at the next meeting? Councillor Migdale.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Is it on the board? Yes.
Yep, go.
That the Mayor writes to the Minister for Planning asking that the state government, A, explains the master planning process for the Whopper ECU site in Mount Lawley, B, confirms if a committee will be formed, and if so, what the terms of reference will be and whether the city will be represented, and C, confirms whether there is potential for the Whopper building to be gifted to the city as a performing arts centre/theatre. The reason?
Yes.
Both residents and council of the City of Stirling only heard about this move through a press release a few weeks ago, with neither being consulted on this matter. The city recognises that Whopper and ECU add significant value to the fabric of the community and seek to ensure that the community is included in the conversation to achieve the best outcome.
Thank you, Councillor Migdale. Councillor Farrelly, you indicated?
Yes, I've got a couple of notice of motions.
Thank you. Yep, and just your microphone and then your first one.
Microphone on, sorry.
Sure.
Through you, Mr Chair. The first one is that a quarterly progress report is provided to elected members with regards to the normalisation of the Scarborough redevelopment area. And the reason for this is that normalisation of the Scarborough redevelopment area is of strategic importance to the council, and this will ensure a regular report on progress against agreed timelines is provided to elected members.
Thank you. And if you can just provide that to governance after.
Okay, I'll
We
email
finish?
it through. Okay.
Yep.
The other one is that you, as the Mayor, write to the Minister of Planning requesting an update on meetings held and progress of the high-level transport working group. The reason for this is in early 2018, the City was invited to be part of this high-level working group, including several key government agencies, to develop a framework to guide future assessment solutions for traffic and transport issues in Scarborough. With development continuing and no apparent solution or framework evident, it is essential that the workings of this group, including its progress, be made public.
Thank you, Councillor. So if you can send both of those through to governance so they have them on record. Are there any other notice of motion, councillors? No. If not, I will go to item 16, which is questions by members of which due notice has been given. And item 16.1, questions on notice. Councillor Elizabeth Ree, is it just a question?
It's just a slight question on page 252. We've got the Trig Bushland, which has got Bush Forever Site 308. It's got St Mary's School, Military Reserve club rooms. Why didn't it have Surf WA room on that as well?
Mr. Littleton?
Yeah, look, thank you. We did send out some confirmation as to the area bounded by Bush Forever Site 309. It doesn't include the current Surfing WA building, nor the Trig, the Island Market, the cafe kiosk that is Kalis, or the Trig Surf Lifesaving Club. So that is, I haven't got the details. My computer stopped, but I think Reserve 12922. Some of it is contained within the Bush Forever site, but not all of it.
There you go. Item 17 is new business of an urgent nature. We have nil. Item 18, matters behind closed doors. We don't need, because we did that before. So it takes us to item 19, which is closure, and I now declare the meeting closed at 9:49 p.m. Thank you, councillors.